Hi, I am Actors. Now, we normally hear that the Bible was written by white people and all that, and some people also say they don't understand what the Bible is saying. Well, the Bible was not written by white people; it was just translated by Britain, by the King James. Now, the language that King James was speaking at that time was some kind of broken English in a way, like the way we have patois, the way we have pidgin, English, but it's in a different style. Normally, the Nigerians like to speak that one. His English was the old kind of English as the King James version has been written in. So if you don't understand his language, it's not to say you don't have understanding. The best thing to do is to read the Bible in a decoded manner. What manner of decode? For instance, that's why we have other versions. So the other versions of the Bible are basically the King James version, like decoded into different stages of understanding for different sets of people on their levels of understanding, depending on their levels of understanding. So the amplified version of the Bible contains English, but it's more of heavy, English with big words, or words that are not too common. So and other versions too are also simplified or broken down words that are more common. It depends on your level of understanding, you understand, or your level of understanding of words. So according to your level of understanding of words, the versions of the Bible will either open you up to the truth, or it may still may hide some things. So for instance, there's a version, I don't really know the version, but there's a version of the Bible where Isaiah 9 to 6 to 7, Isaiah 9 verse 6 to 7, it says, let's say the NIV version might say something like, for to us a child is born, a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders. But another version will say, for to us a child is born, a son will be given, or is given, and he shall come with power upon his shoulders. So if you don't understand the dynamic of power, you will be thinking they are talking about magic powers or mystical powers, but power as in government power. So when it comes to government, it has to do with like ruling, and that to rule you must have power. Power basically has to do with government governing territories, and that's what power is all about. So if Jesus is coming with a government on his shoulders, it means he's carrying a system of governance, and so a different version will just call it power. But if you are not understanding of the dynamic of, if you don't really understand the word power, as in the dynamic of power, you will be thinking some magical powers, but it's actually talking about governance. So King James will talk about government, and the government shall be upon his shoulders. Another version might say, and the government will be on his shoulders. It depends on your level of understanding. So if you want to understand the Bible, it's simple, decode it. That is why we have ChatGPT now. So now ChatGPT can help you decode the Bible to the level of your understanding. So right now we don't have an excuse to not know what's like, to get an understanding of the Bible, depending on your level of understanding. If, for instance, the Bible was being written in pidgin or patois, how many people understand the patois language? You must understand that language to really decode it. So imagine that the Bible was written in patois. It's simple. Just decode the Bible from patois into English, plain English that you can understand. So it's simple. If you want to understand the Bible, decode it. How do you decode it? Use ChatGPT. Simple. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.